Before we begin, drop a comment telling us which city and country you're watching from and what time it is there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this story, it might just change the way you see humanity forever. They called the planet Xaros Prime, a jungle world wrapped in red mist and chaos. The war had scorched half of it. Craters, shattered hulls, burned husks of orbital wreckage. It wasn't supposed to end like that. But wars never do. After the final fleet jump, after the ceasefire was signed and the armistice beams exchanged, one human remained. Staff Sergeant Liam Cross, left behind. Forgotten in the withdrawal. MIA in the report, dead to the brass. But he wasn't dead. He was very much alive. Wounded, low on ammo, cut off from command, but breathing. And in that silence, in the heart of an alien jungle where no human had ever stayed longer than an assault mission, Liam Cross became something else. At first, he thought he was alone. Xaros Prime wasn't uninhabited. The Murta, a pre-FTL tribal race, had lived there long before the war painted their skies with fire. They hid from the conflict, disappeared into the foliage, watched as titans clashed overhead. When Liam stumbled out of the smoking wreckage of his drop pod, bloodied, limping, his armor scorched and eyes haunted, they watched. And when he collapsed beside the river, unconscious from infection and dehydration, they carried him to a cave. They had no words for soldier or sergeant, but they had stories. Stories of sky metal spirits who fell in fire and walked like gods. And when Liam awoke, delirious and muttering about medpacks and extraction zones, they thought he was praying. And when he cauterized a wound with his plasma knife, screaming through gritted teeth, they thought he was immortal. And when he stood up 3 days later, armor dented but upright, they knelt. He didn't understand at first, tried to explain, tried to teach them the words. I'm human. I'm stranded. I'm just a man. But their language had no word for just. They called him Oran Kai, the burned star, a title once given to a mythic warrior said to arrive in fire, clad in skybone, bearer of light. Every time Liam used his suit's flashlight to check vitals, they gasped. Every time his HUD lit up, they called it divine sight. And when he killed a venom spitter with a single shot from his rail pistol, they worshipped him. Weeks passed. His distress beacon remained silent. No recovery ships, no pings, no signals. Command had either forgotten him or written him off. But the Murta never did. They brought him food, taught him their hunting trails, painted his armor with their tribal dyes. Children followed him, mimicking his salute. Elders asked for his blessing before battle. Liam didn't want to be their god, but he couldn't be just a man either. Not anymore. Not when every act of survival became a miracle. When a rival tribe attacked, the Murta turned to him. He tried to stay out, tried to hide in his cave, until the fire started, until he heard screams, until a child, the same child who painted his shoulder plate with yellow clay, was pulled into the flames. That was the day Oran Kai walked into war. He moved like a ghost through the jungle. The enemy tribe didn't see him. Not at first. But they heard the whir of his servo-assisted joints. They saw the plasma cutter slice through trees like butter. They smelled the ozone as his sidearm barked once, twice, 3 times. When the sun rose, Liam stood atop the ridge, battered and bleeding. The enemy was gone. The Murta wept, not in fear, in awe. Word spread, of a god in black armor, of a sky spirit who fought for the weak. Other tribes came, not to conquer, to learn, to kneel, to bring gifts. He tried to refuse, tried to tell them he was human, but humans had become legends in the galaxy already. Now, one had become a living myth. Liam adapted. He used his suit's systems to teach, mapped irrigation paths, dug wells, shared heat signatures to find game, used his helmet's light to guide children through cave systems. He became protector, teacher, builder, warrior. He stopped asking for extraction. He stopped listening for Earth, because Earth had left. But Xaros Prime had accepted him. Years passed, the galaxy moved on, treaties signed, borders redrawn, old wars replaced by new ones, and then one day, a survey ship returned. An exploration team, part of a reconstruction mission. They landed on Xaros Prime, expected dust and ruin. Instead, they found cities, massive canopy-sheltered dwellings, built from starship wreckage and jungle architecture. They found organized agriculture, clean water, commerce, and murals of a figure in black armor, standing tall, holding back fire, guiding tribes through darkness, a god with a human face. The survey team reported it as an anomaly, primitive cultural evolution sparked by exposure to off-world tech. But when they broadcast their arrival, a single signal returned. Old Earth protocol, encrypted, recognized by ancient archives. L//Staff Sergeant, /270 1st Drop Division. Location, active. Status Guardian. They sent a team to investigate. Liam met them halfway between the jungle and the cliffs. Older now, armor repaired 100 times. Visor scratched but glowing. Been a while, he said. They offered to bring him back. Said Earth could use someone like him. Said he'd be famous. He looked at the Murta standing beside him. Warriors, scholars, children. A civilization he helped build. I already am. They left him there. By request, because sometimes, Earth doesn't need more gods. But somewhere else does. And so the legend of Oran Kai spread, not as a tale of conquest, but of compassion, not of divinity, but of humanity. And in a corner of the galaxy forgotten by most, a soldier became a story, a man became a myth, and Earth's legacy burned on, not in fire but in hope. Still watching? Then you're part of the story now too. Comment what part hit you the hardest. Like, share, and subscribe. Because this is humanity at its finest. And remember, we may leave men behind, but they never leave us.